go. Mm-mm. Well, welcome. It's good to be here. Good to see you guys. So, just coming into this place, taking a breath, setting aside right now just these next 30 minutes. Almost as if you're gathering all the scattered pieces, all the thoughts, just to be here, just right here, right now for a minute. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more on immediacy as one of the gifts that this practice gives us, and that just really transparent, like immediate touch, the just directness of touching experience. We talk about not being in the future or not being in the past, as these are different ways of stepping away from our experience or being caught up in our thoughts. Sometimes we can be so caught up in thoughts that there's almost like this big old cloud and fog that's like standing between me and whatever it is I'm trying to experience. And so everything just gets filtered. I can barely see it because there's so much thinking that's happening. And with this practice, just that coming even closer and closer and closer, more direct to like what's right here in this moment. What is it I'm experiencing, whether it's internal experience or with somebody else? What is right here? And I think this is one of those gateways into the intimacy that gets developed in this practice. It's like the more immediate it is, the less coding and thoughts and insulation. It's like that more directness, the more intimate, the more open, in that sense of just being able to be permeable to what is being experienced. And it's this really interesting place of just being so with it, so close to it, so just in it, that it's just that nourishment of being intimate with experience. And it's the immediacy of it. It's this moment, this part of it, this breath. Not even what was 2 breaths ago. And I got to thinking of, how you'll go to, taste test something and they'll give you like coffee beans to smell in between to kind of like clear your palate, whether you're smelling perfumes or wine or food. There's just that little bit of like, you want to clear what was already there so that you can come to this next thing and taste it, this one, not tainted by the smell of that was just 2 minutes ago. That immediacy of like, no, this smell just as it is. Even if it's like this emotion in this moment, what does this emotion in this moment smell like, taste like, feel like? Not the emotion that I was experiencing earlier this morning or yesterday, but this one. And one of the ways that we can tell we're not in that immediacy is that we have all the stories. It's like all the ruminations where it's like, oh, I can feel this emotion. I can tell you exactly all the things. It's almost stale, boring. That like, oh yeah, I know exactly how this is going to go. I know all the thoughts that go with it. I know all the feelings that go with it. I don't know how many times I've been working with somebody and they're like, I know exactly what you're going to tell me. It's like because they know the story so well. It's been so rehearsed. It's so stale, so boring. At some point, I get bored by my own thought loops. I'm like, oh my goodness, again, seriously? But it's like, and that's the opposite of the immediacy of that, just like, no, what is this? The novelty, the freshness of this right here. So we're going to explore. We'll go in and see what's in your experience right now. And then we're going to just play with that sense of immediacy, freshness, novelty, and then see what comes up. See if you notice all the boring stories. Like you have all the explanations, all the justifications of why you feel that way. Or maybe you notice all the ways that you analyze and try to figure it out and fix it. All the ways that the thoughts kind of come in and cloud it, put another little layer, a little bit of fogginess. So you notice that, and then just again, almost that whiff of the coffee beans, clearing the palate, and then coming back to just this. Can you just be right here with this? Not trying to figure anything out, just sensing it freshly, just directly, just immediately, this one quick little second of it. So I think that's enough introduction for us. Let's go play. So, starting with the breath, maybe even taking a deliberate breath, exhaling through your mouth, hearing the breath. So you can feel it, you can hear it, you can hear the sound of it. Beginning to come present, noticing the scattered thoughts, the thoughts that want to go in all the different directions. And almost as if you're pulling in, condensing in the awareness, the attention, so that you can focus directly, immediately on this breath, this inhale, and this exhale. Feeling the breath at the nose, perhaps noticing the temperature right there at your nose, where the air is just a little bit cooler on the inhale and a little warmer on the exhale. Maybe even feeling the movement of breath in the nose, in the back of the throat. Perhaps noticing those little tiny movements of muscles in your throat, whether there's tightness or looseness. Almost just that awareness, the curiosity, the freshness of like, oh, look, I can feel that little muscle twitching right there in my throat right now. And following the breath down into your chest, the rise and fall of your collarbones as you breathe. Feeling the sternum, where the ribs meet the sternum right there in the front. And with the inhale, a slight tug and pull as the ribs open away, almost as if they're blinds that kind of open to the air, and then relax back down with the exhale. Just noticing those little movements between your ribs, the intercostals, the muscles that connect the ribs. They stretch and pull and open on the inhale, relaxing, settling with the exhale. Maybe noticing the movement in your back, feeling the shoulder blades as they rise and fall on the back as you breathe. And breathing down into your lower back, feeling the lungs expand way down there in the lower parts of your lungs. Maybe feeling the pull of the diaphragm as it pulls down into the belly. Relaxing back up with the exhale. following the breath, the rhythm of the breath. And the inhale, perhaps a pause at the top, and an exhale all the way down to the bottom. And maybe just a rest there at the bottom of the exhale before the inhale picks up again. Or not. Simply noticing the pattern that your breath is doing right now in this moment. Not the breath you were breathing 10 minutes ago, but this one right here. What is this pattern, this inhale, this exhale? Noticing if the mind wants to come and try to compare or fix or change or make the breath look a particular way. You can just notice it. Thank the mind for its input. Give it a little kiss on the cheek and then come back to the breathing. Just noticing, letting your breath be exactly as it is, just right now. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. There's no way breathing is supposed to look. It's just breathing. An inhale and an exhale. Then from there, expanding your awareness to check in with your physical body. Noticing the physical sensations that are present right now. Almost as if you're just taking an inventory, or you're just kind of looking, reacquainting yourself. Oh, that's what's here today. Noticing sensations in your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your back, your chest, your belly, your hips, your seat, your legs, your knees, your shins and calves, your feet. Perhaps even saying the physical sensation of tension is present, or the physical sensation of relaxation is present. There's nothing to fix or change. There's nothing to figure out. And just noticing what is here. And allowing whatever is here to be here, just as it is. And then checking in with the thoughts. Noticing where your thoughts are right now. What you're thinking about. And even how you are thinking. What is the pattern of the thinking right now? Is it slow and sluggish, fast and scattered, focused and direct? Is it clear, soft focus? Many, many different ways to experience how we think. There's no way to be, no particular way the thinking should be. Simply noticing. And maybe even again using that phrasing. The experience of thoughts is soft focus today. Or the experience of thoughts is foggy today, or clear. And then from there, checking in with your emotions. Noticing the emotions that might be present. Might be neutral, fine. Might have a lot of emotions, a lot of varied emotions. They might be big and intense, or small and soft, subtle. Just simply noticing what is here. And maybe even labeling that. The emotion of contentment is here, or the emotion of lots and lots of chaos. That's here. Whatever is present for you right now. Using your breath, inhaling, exhaling. Just that quick check-in with sensations, thoughts, and emotions. Oh, this is what's present. That's what's in my awareness right now in this moment. And from here, picking one thing that's in your awareness that you want to play with, that you want to practice that immediacy with. It could be a physical sensation, an emotion, or it could be that pattern of thinking. What is foggy thinking like, to experience that directly? So whatever it is, whatever's calling out for you to play with today, kind of getting reacquainted with it, getting cozy with it. I'm noticing for myself, I want to explore this feeling of tenderness. There's like an emotional quality of just tenderness right now. And so as we play, noticing how the mind wants to pick at it, analyze it, get out its magnifying glass, look at it, and then maybe kind of just shake it off, almost like you're taking a whiff of those coffee beans, clear the palate. You can even take a nice deliberate breath. And bring that experience right up front again. Soften into it. Lean into it. Be with it. And the moment you notice your brain starting to do something, the thinking that just kicks in so automatically, like, oh yeah, that's why I'm feeling the way I am, because all that happened this morning and then yesterday. You just like, okay, step back, take that nice deliberate breath, clear the palate, and then lean in again. Get a little closer. Almost as if you're smelling a rose, you're sticking your nose right into it. And you're just going to inhale the fragrance of it. Whether it's a physical sensation, stepping right close to what a discomfort might smell like, taste like, look like, feel like. Or an emotion. What happens when you lean in? Does it well up more intensely? Does it kind of shut down and come closer, tighter, away? No right or wrong. There's nothing it should do or shouldn't do. Again, the immediacy of this, the directness, there's no anticipating even what it should or shouldn't do, what it should or shouldn't give you. Nothing. Who knows? Maybe you lean in, you smell it, and you feel something completely unexpected. And then you notice the mind wants to figure that out. Oh, why did that happen? We can just kind of chuckle, step back, take that cleansing breath. And then lean in again. Just this one, this whiff, this experience. What does this feel like? I notice each time I catch myself before the mind wants to take it away, and I lean in more closely, it feels even more tender, more soft, more intense. There's almost an ache in it. It's like my senses become more heightened when I step away, take that cleansing breath, and then lean in again for a fresh, new, just touch into it. Noticing how my thoughts so quickly can cloud it, can dull it. And maybe even a little bow of appreciation. Oh yes, that's how you protect me, thoughts. When something feels too intense, you can dull it by thinking about it. Thank you. And then taking a breath. And then maybe leaning in again. Simply noticing what happens when you meet it. Just this once. This time. Not last time, this time. And then letting that go. Just taking all of your awareness back to your breath. Your inhale and your exhale. Sometimes it can feel like the attention is really concentrated when you're staying with that immediacy, just trying to catch that quick sliver of time, that moment of now. And so there's a relaxing back into the breath. You know, there's nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change, just breathing. And the breath can almost be that rocking chair to relax back into. Just the breath. The attention can relax, the awareness can relax. The physical sensations, the emotions, the thinking can all relax back into the breath. And here, as we begin to end our practice, again, taking that quick scan through your body. How do you experience your body right now? Let's scan through your thoughts. How are you experiencing your thinking now? And that scan through your emotions. How are you experiencing those emotions right now in this moment? And again, just that greeting of the self. Oh yes, this is what is here right now, in this moment. It may be similar or different than when you started, but it's just this moment. This is me right now here. I am present. I am here in this moment. It's Staying with the breath, relaxing into that center point right there in your chest. Taking a few more breaths. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes.